Welcome to the late night hour. It is Wednesday evening. Welcome once again to week 3 of ZZ Props. I am your host, Andrew Zaiser. Alongside me, the man, the myth, the legend, PC Principal himself.
Hello, hello.
Joshua Zaiser. All right. Thank you, guys. I hope you're all tuning in. I feel like we're on the best damn sports show here, late night hour. Rodney's already put the kids to bed, so I hope that you guys can stay up with us and enjoy and recap week 2 of the NFL season, our bets, and what we're going to be doing here going forward into week 3. So, to get started, a little recap from last week, all right, guys? Well, it was better than week 1.
It was better than week 1. We made a little bit of progress that we did. It was an exciting week. Some of our sure bets didn't hit, but then ones that we didn't think were going to hit did hit. We ended up coming out ahead, and it was a decent week.
It was a decent week. So we started off on a slow start. 1-8 in week 1. Week 2, baby, we're fighting for that 500. 4-5, okay? 4-5. The cool thing that happened, guys, Andrew's dumbass parlay was a winner.
That one saved our rear end. Yes, it did. That put us into the plus money for the year. So I'm glad that finally hit. So as I call it, the parlay, D-A parlay, did hit, and it was a sweat job with the Cowboys because that was the last team we needed to cover. It was an exciting game. I'm sure a lot of you out there watched it as well. We didn't know what was going to happen. I was yelling and arguing with Andrew, let's cash out.
Let it ride.
He talked me out of doing it, and we let it ride, and we hit it. It was a good hit.
I've never rooted for the Dallas Cowboys in my life until Sunday, to be honest with you. Dad also had them on the money line, right? Was it money line or spread?
On the money line, yep.
So that ended up being a $300 total payout on what was that, a half unit for you? $20 in total bets, I believe. $20 total bets, paid out $300. So it was a good night for that. That's for sure. As far as our other bets go, I will pull up the spreadsheet right here we got. So this is what we got. So Kansas City, Baltimore, goddamn Lamar Jackson. I was looking real good on a same-game parlay on that one as well, and I really thought the Chiefs were going to pull it off, and they were up 11 late in the game, and that is one fast son of a bitch. He is hard to bring down. So that bet ended up not hitting. Dallas versus the Chargers, that was Dad's. He got paid – we did put $20 on that. So he got paid $52.80 on that one, so that was a full unit. And then the Rams screwed us with that another botched punt that turned it into the Colts recovering that in the end zone. So that was
that Rams game was ridiculous. We'd actually bumped that bet up to 5.5, and you still wouldn't even have covered if we didn't bet it.
3.5, yeah.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous ending to that whole thing. I don't know what's going on with them. I don't know. The NFL's a little bit crazy right now. Not seeing the board real clear. It's making things a little bit difficult right now. Teams are up and down, but only 2 weeks in. We're not going to give up.
And then, guess what, guys? My strategy worked. I bet on the Bengals, and the Bears won. And we got our first glimpse of Justin Fields. What was your analysis, Dad, of Justin Fields in week 2?
Justin Fields looks pretty good. He had made your typical rookie mistakes. Maybe held on to the ball a little bit too long, made a silly interception. He had 3 drops that I can recall. One of the biggest ones being the Allen Robinson drop in the end zone.
Who never drops the ball.
Well,
be fair.
Okay. Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I don't know. You couldn't hit it any better. I think I could have caught that ball, hit him in the breadbasket, right there where it should have been, and it went right through his wickets. I don't understand it. That's fine. But anyhow, no, Justin Fields, typical rookie quarterback. I think he'll be fine. He's been announced the starter, for this coming week. Hopefully a full week of being under pressure and being the number 1 QB is going to do him well. He'll be in the system working with those ones, and maybe those one receivers will actually catch the ball this week.
Well, and that's the thing. Nagy, his dumbass, came out and said, Dalton's our starter when he's healthy. Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. I mean, If Wilson, if not Wilson, I'm sorry. If he, as long as he doesn't play like Zach Wilson, I don't see how they're going to be able to pull Fields out. Even if he's playing like Jones is, not turning the ball over, protecting the ball, and we're showing progress. I mean, Nagy's got his job on the line. So at least, even if we go 6-11 at the end of the year, and Fields still has a good season, at least that is something you can say to McCaskey and say, look, guys, we're heading in the right direction. We haven't had a quarterback in 80 goddamn years. We made a good move moving up and grabbing this guy, and it's showing progression. But who knows? Maybe we'll get hot with them too. We just have to wait and see. So to move on from that, then we had the big shocker of the week. The Panthers knocking off the Saints. We saw Jameis Winston return to his true form of Tampa Bay Buccaneers football.
Which makes this week even more difficult. What's Jameis Winston's going to show up? I don't know. There's a lot of tough bets out there. Things aren't necessarily panning out the way people thought they were going to after week one. And then, week two came, and week two showed some disappointments. It's making the board real difficult to read for me.
And then also the Bears, Chicago over 23.5. That was a bad beat. They had
that was a terrible beat. Thank you, Allen Robinson. If you'd have caught that touchdown pass, we would have won a little bit of money there. I know. Only talking $20. The Bears still won, so I'm a happy man. But come on, catch the ball. And there was 2 other drops that were ridiculous. Come on, give the guy a chance. Make the rookie feel welcome. Make him feel like you're going to play for him. Catch the freaking ball.
Dad wasn't. I said, hey, the Bears won, and he wasn't really that happy. So I think that kind of hurt his feelings a little bit. We didn't get that bet.
Bears tried to lose that game. I'm glad we won. Boy, they tried.
And then my San Francisco they covered 3.5 points over the Eagles. So that was a good bet there. And then let's see, Las Vegas and my Raiders. The Raiders, they covered. And they won that game, which also was on Andrew's dumbass parlay, which was huge. The Raiders look legit, Dad. I have a lot of confidence. I like Gruden. I like, Derek Carr silently. If anybody plays some money on preseason Derek Carr MVP, that'd be a huge payout, I think.
I think Derek Carr is leading the league in passing now, too, by about 100 yards. Derek Carr's looking good. I really do like Chucky John Gruden, but can he keep it together? The second half, he seems to always fall apart with the Raiders. Will Derek Carr stay healthy? There's question marks about that already. Can we keep the running game going? I'll admit it, I love having a team in Las Vegas. I hope that they can keep it going, and I hope John Gruden continues to win, but we'll see what the rest of the season brings. I'm not quite sold yet.
That's a tough division. You got the Chargers, who seem to show some promise, and, of course, you got Patty Mahomes over there in Kansas City. So, and then the Broncos, silently, the Broncos are 2-0. So, yeah, it could be interesting. But the Broncos and the Raiders are on top of the division right now. If you would have told me that heading into week 3 at the beginning of the year, I would have thought you were nuts. That both those teams would be 2-0, and the other 2 teams, and the Chargers and Chiefs, would be 1-1. So that was our picks from last week. So before we get into our segment that I have for our picks this week, I wanted to go ahead and play this little game with Dad. So this is the question I have for Dad. Which 0-2 team do you believe, if you could make a bet right now, will make the playoffs? These are the 0-2 teams, and statistically, one of these 0-2 teams will make the playoffs. So we got the Jets, Falcons, Lions, Vikings, Jags, Colts, Giants. Which one of those 0-2 teams, if any, do you see? If you had to put money on it right now, on a future for one of these teams, which team would you pick?
Man, it's really surprising me with this question. I really don't know. There's a couple teams on there that I like. Jags, absolutely not. Jets, absolutely not. Lions, absolutely not. Giants, I'm going to go and throw an absolutely not, even though they play in the worst division in football. Going to say absolutely not. Was Saquon Barkley going to be able to stay healthy? I'm not sure. He's not looking like him true self. I'm hoping that he does. He seems like a real good guy. Like I said times before on this show with many other people, Colts, they got Carson Wentz, baby. I'm going to go ahead and rule them out too, because which Carson Wentz is going to show up? You never know. Is he going to stay healthy? Probably not. So I believe, is it Sam Ellinger? Is he one of the backups there?
Yeah, that boy out of Texas. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the same Ellinger may save the Colts, but I don't know if Carson Wentz is necessarily the answer. Falcons and Vikings. Falcons and Vikings. I guess I wouldn't give up on them yet. Vikings are still riding in that NFC North division. We'll see what happens there. Obviously, that's our Chicago Bears division. But with their coach, you never know. They could go ahead and pull that out. With the Falcons, I don't know. I won't rule them out quite yet.
So I agree with what you're saying. My money would be on the Colts just because that division's so up in there. I think two teams on this list have a huge games coming up this weekend, and one being the Colts at Tennessee. Huge game. You do not want them to. The Colts have had promise. I mean, great offensive line, if not the best in football. Great defense. It's just that quarterback question mark they have right now. They have talent in the backfield. With I think they have three guys: Taylor, Hines, and I can't think of the other.
Yeah, I saw a weird stat today on TV about Jonathan Taylor. I think he's touched the ball 5 times from the 1 yard line, and he hasn't gotten in once. That'll change, folks. I think Jonathan Taylor is a stud. He'll figure it out, but can he carry that team? I just don't know if Carson Wentz is the answer. We'll see what happens.
just don't want to pick the Vikings, and that's the other team who has a huge game this week, and it's almost a pick 'em. They do not want to start 0-3, and it's against the Seahawks, who are starting 1-1, should be 2-0, blew that game against the Titans. So that's a huge, huge game. I know it's early in the season, folks, but 0-3, 1-2. Both ways, Seahawks could be 1-2, so that's going to be a tough game as well. Kind of tough one to pick as well. But let's go ahead and get into our picks for the week. Dad, go ahead and start it off. What do you got?
All right, I think we're going with the traditional. We're just going to do 3 units. Our units are going to be $20 this week again. So he gets 3 units, I get 3 units. My first bet is going to be one that's probably going to surprise Andrew, because we were arguing a little bit before. It is for the Thursday night football game tomorrow. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw this out there. Full unit, Carolina to cover at -7.5. Houston has the rookie quarterback coming in, 3rd-round draft pick. I just don't know how much you can actually trust this Mills guy. I wish him the best of luck, but I don't know. Carolina's defense looks awfully good. Carolina's defense has some names on there that you'd be familiar with. But you know what? I think by the end of the season, you're going to be familiar with a lot more of those guys. The Carolina defense does look legit. I'm a defensive type of player myself. I do like watching defensive football. Chicago Bears defense looked good last year. I'll always bring them up. Or last week, not last year. With that on top of that, I think Sam Darnold, you know what? I think maybe this has been a good change in scenery for him. I'm not saying
it was a Jets problem, not a Darnold problem.
Yeah, I'm not saying that I'm sipping the juice quite yet, but he's playing much better there under new coaches. They got a good coaching staff down there in Carolina. I think Sam Darnold may be the real deal. Then you got Run CMC, Christian McCaffrey. Man, I like to watch that white boy run. He's got the moves. He can catch it. He can do a little bit of everything. Hopefully he can stay healthy. That's my only question with him. And I also think Robbie Anderson's going to have a big week too. I think him and Sam Darnold are going to.
I'd like that. He's on my fantasy team.
No, that's good. I think him and Sam Darnold are going to start hooking up. And I just don't trust this Houston team. I think the running backs may have a good week. That's probably going to be about it for the Houston Texans.
Well, Darnold, he's pretty good at hooking up, with what happened to him last year at the Jets, that disease he caught. That's my dad joke of the week for you.
Oh, the old mono. He did catch the mono there for a little bit.
So maybe he's going to hook up with Robbie Anderson now, folks. All right.
I'm hoping he just don't want to play for New York. Who would want to play there?
No, I like that pick.
Mark it down, Carolina -7.5.
Silently, the Panthers have allowed the least points in football going into week 3. So you are right. That defense does look very good, very promising. So lock that pick in. All right. We'll go ahead with mine. My first one I got the Saints money line, Dad. I got Saints money line. I don't see Peyton letting this team slip to 1-2. I think Winston's going to bounce back in a big way. I have a lot more faith in him than I do in the Pats. I think that they're going to get back to where they were week 1. I think it's going to be a big win. They got the Pats favored by 3.5 points. That's almost a pick 'em too. It's at New England, but I really think that the Saints will bounce back this week. So give me the Saints money line.
I would disagree with you on that one. I would skip this game completely, most likely. But if I was going to lean, I would lean towards the Pats -3.5 beans that Is it their first home game this year? I think it might possibly be. Not sure on that, but Mac Jones, I think he's going to play smart. I don't know if Jameis Winston will play smart. The Belichick is a wonderful defensive coordinator as a head coach. So we'll see what happens.
Sean Payton's a wonderful offensive coordinator.
Yeah, Belichick's been around a lot longer, and Jameis Winston's this quarterback. We'll see what happens. Not sipping that juice quite yet either.
All right. What do you got?
Second bet of the week is a little bit of an interesting one, and I'll try to make this as fast as I can for the gamblers out there. If you're new to gambling, what I've decided to do is, like I told Andrew before this, I am not very comfortable with this board at all this week. I'm not liking the spreads where they're sitting at right now. I just don't feel good about one way or another. So what I decided to do was a teaser bet. I don't know if you're familiar with a teaser bet out there, but a teaser bet is a bet where you pick two or more teams and you can tease it one way or the other. So if a team is a favorite, you can get, say the team is a favorite by -8 points. You tease it, you get -6 points off of that. So in other words, you're betting the team at -2. So maybe my explanation here will make a little bit more sense when I explain my picks. There are 4 teams this week that I definitely think are going to win, but I don't know that I can trust the spread yet. Vegas has got pretty sharp lines right now. I think that they are on it. Teams aren't playing to their full potential yet, and everything's just been so close. So the 4 teams I think are going to win this week are Carolina, Arizona, Baltimore, and Kansas City. Each one of those games have a 6.5 or higher spread. So I teased that down. I've got Carolina -1.5, Arizona -1.5, Baltimore -1.5, and Kansas City -0.5. So Carolina, Arizona, and Baltimore, if you bet the spread when I bet it, it would have been -7.5. I'm locking that in, and a teaser takes 6 points off of that. So all 3 of those teams are -1.5. So essentially, they have to win by 2 points or more, and I will cover those 3. Kansas City, it essentially is a pick 'em. I got Kansas City winning that game, but I don't trust Kansas City to cover. Yes, they're a great team, but their covering stats are not very good. If you get on the internet and look that up, they do not cover. They win, but they do not cover. So I compared this to a parlay. If I would have picked a parlay 4 ways money line, Carolina, Arizona, Baltimore, and Kansas City just money line, my odds were +157. When I teased it to the -1.5 for Carolina, Arizona, and Baltimore, and -0.5 for Kansas City, my odds came back at +240. So I've got those 4 teams on my teaser 4-leg bet. I hope that makes sense to people out there. If not, hit the rewind button or something. Andrew's not even following me. I just blew his mind.
All right, no,
I know what I'm talking about. Some people say a 4-leg
I know the
teaser
teaser bets. I've just
is stupid.
It's been a long day, folks, of selling cars. I'm going on 14 hours. So
essentially, Carolina, Arizona, Baltimore, Kansas City to win. That's what I got. +240.
All right.
At a $20 bet, which is unusual for me as well.
All right, Dad. Good luck on that. I hope that you keep me updated on that as we go. While we're watching the games on
that
Sunday.
Could be the DA parlay of the week, big boy.
Well, we'll get to that. We'll get to that, folks, because I'm 1-1 on the year, baby. We're going to make it 2-1 now. Got another winner for you, folks, so make sure you place those bets if you want to get rich. Go to the Super Bowl like us. All right. So, Andrew's number 2 pick of the week. Steelers coming off a tough loss, man. It was a competitive game. It was really actually one of the most entertaining games, in my opinion, to watch on Sunday. It was a tough loss. I think they're going to bounce back in a big way. I'm not sold on the Bengals. They got it at 3 points right now, but give me that. I'm going to put a full unit on this one. I think the Steelers win by a touchdown at home against these Bengals, coming off a tough loss as well. But I think getting at 3 points really isn't that bad. Maybe you'll push by a field goal, but I really think the Steelers are the better team than the Bengals. I know they had that week 1 win, but I don't see them getting back on track after that physical game they had against Chicago as well. The defense tearing them up. And you're going against another. I don't know about Watt's status for the game. I know he hurt. Do you know his status for the game? I know he got hurt. I think it was a groin injury.
Who's this?
TJ Watt.
No, I think Watt's going to be out. As well. Last I heard.
But still, they have a great defense, even without TJ Watt. That hurts without him on there. But I really think that Mike Tomlin is going to bounce back after that tough loss to a good Raiders team, mind you. And give me the Steelers and the points.
The only thing I don't like about this bet, son, is I definitely lean towards the Steelers too. I looked at that bet, but the only thing I worry about is that Steelers bet. It's going to be heavy on the public. Everybody's going to be betting. Everybody's going to be betting on the Steelers. And
this is the one that's going to get kind of like that Saints one last week.
Yes, exactly. Kind of like that. I mean, everybody's going to hit that Steelers button.
Bet on the Bengals then. Fade me.
Fade us. Fade us. I'm not going to fade them. I'm not picking this game because of that reason. I don't know what to do. I know there's going to be big public coming in, but I almost guarantee you the sharps or the professional bettors out there, whatever you want to call them.
I think this
they're
going to
come
get
in
to
on,
4.5
on the Bengals.
I think it could get to 4.5 by Sunday.
With the public coming in on it, but the big bets are going to come in on the Bengals. So we'll see. I'm okay with that bet.
All right. That's unusual.
Rolling on to my bet number 3. Going to be another full unit bet. I've got just the 3 bets this week. Wow. As far as using my units, like I said, I didn't know how to break it down. I'm not seeing the board real clearly. I'm not liking the spreads this week. And I'm going to go ahead and take Baltimore minus 7.5. Baltimore minus 7.5 versus Detroit. It's Detroit. I don't know what more I got to say about that. I do like the coach. I like Campbell. I think he's a pretty cool guy. I like how he's coaching.
Because he's a psychopath.
I like his mentality. But hey, it's rubbing off. The Lions have been playing tough. I'll give him that.
Say he's gonna eat babies or something crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, Dan Terra, man. And then we got Goff. Goff sucks. Goff just sucks. He cannot handle pressure. There's no way he's going to win this game or even be close in this game, I don't think. So I got the Baltimore at the minus 7.5. Baltimore, after the big win at Kansas City, they're riding high. Lamar with his jump passes and the crazy stuff that he does, his rushing, his passing, the whole ticket there. Running backs, plug it in, put somebody in there, and they get the job done. So I think it was his last name. Williams right now, is that his name? Mm-hmm. He's tearing it up. I bet on him on a prop this last weekend because I figured he's going to do what he does.
I'll tell you what, man. I love this pick. I think that I don't know why it's this low. I don't know what they're thinking. I think it should be 10 points at least. But, man, I got so fired up even though I was rooting for the Chiefs to cover at that 6.5 at the end of the game. But just that relationship that Harbaugh has with Lamar like that, we've seen it in the past. But then you watch that video clip that ESPN got of him, man, zooming in on Harbaugh and yelling at him, 4th and 1 in Chiefs territory. The ball's on this guy, and he looks at his quarterback and trusts him and says, Lamar, do you want to go for this? And Lamar says, hell yeah, coach. And he goes out there and dives for 2 yards to end the game because he doesn't want to go. He goes with the stats. That's what Harbaugh does. He doesn't want to give the ball back to the goddamn best quarterback in the league. And how brilliant was that? Because Lamar is a dog. And just that gave me goosebumps. So seriously, in that moment, him trusting his guy like that.
You were over here for that one, weren't you?
No, I was at home. I was laying in bed at home watching that. But that's what I love John Harbaugh, man. I love how he coaches and trusting his guy like that. Not like Matt LaFleur's pussy ass. I was thinking
the whole time, though, my God, you don't give that ball back to Patrick Mahomes with 45 seconds.
Well, the Chiefs were stupid. The Chiefs pissed me off when they're like, okay, we're marching right down the field. Let's just settle for the field goal and run it up the middle. I'm pissed off about that because they needed to score a touchdown for me to cover on my bet anyways. But they're like, oh, let's just settle for a 50-yard field goal. Let's just run the ball up the middle.
City wins. They don't cover.
But they were marching down. They were throwing the ball all over them.
I know. Then on top of that, I'm gonna throw a little parlay in here real quick. I know this is the props, but I've used up my 3 units. But I'm so confident in this game that I think Baltimore's gonna blow them out. I think Baltimore's gonna score points. And you know what? They'll feel sorry for Goff and give him a couple touchdowns. In-game parlaying, which you can do at FanDuel. And as far as I know, it's FanDuel only, at least around here in Central Illinois where we bet. FanDuel offers the in-game parlays. I'm just going to go ahead and take Baltimore minus 7.5 and combine that with the over 49.5. I think it will go over the 49.5. So I'm just putting $10 on that. So combine Baltimore minus 7.5 over 49.5 for that game at $10. That's not part of my 3 units though, but I had to throw that in there, son.
I could see that game being 28-14. I don't know.
I see that game being like 35-17,
35-7.
35-21, something like that. Baltimore's going to want to stay healthy after they start kicking the rear ends.
Yeah.
And then Goff's going to want to look good and get his garbage time touchdowns.
Mm-hmm.
I think the 49.5, I'm feeling good about the 49.5.
Okay.
And I think Baltimore will kill them. We'll see what happens.
All right. Roll the dice. I like it. All right. So my last pick of the week, Dad's going to love him this one. And guess what, guys? I'm just calling it like I see it. I am one of the biggest Chicago Bears fans in the world. This week, give me the pack. They're going to make, after Aaron Rodgers comes out and shows out last week, they're going to have them 3.5-point dogs against this unimpressive 49ers team that can only beat the Philadelphia Eagles by 6 points.
But son,
I do not like
they're
that
playing
at all.
at San
So,
Francisco.
I don't give a shit if they're playing at Candlestick because guess what? It is a primetime game. Do you know what Aaron Rodgers' primetime game record is? Him playing on the big lights. Do you know what his record is?
I don't know. I don't
No,
care.
you do not, because it is insane. This guy is going to his where is he from? California. Guess what? He's going to have his fans travel to the game. He is great playing in California. This is where this man will probably end up playing next year because Trey Lance will go to the Packers or something. This is where this guy wants to be. He's going to go out there, show out against the 49ers. Give me the Packers money line. I believe it's plus 180, something like that. I like it a lot. So give me the Packers money line. The Packers aren't going to start 1-2. They're going to beat the Niners because guess what? Us
Jimmy
Bears fans
Garoppolo.
Exactly.
Jimmy Garoppolo
Exactly.
dates a certain type of person and has fun with a certain type of person. Aaron Rodgers looks like that person right now.
Porn stars?
Yes, thank you very much. I didn't want to say it. He looks like that, and that's the type of person Jimmy Garoppolo goes on dates with. But of the female version, you want to sit here and tell me that Aaron Rodgers is going to beat the man that is the man.
Oh, yeah, the man. They need to get his ass on the bench. He sucks. They have a better quarterback sitting behind him. No, I'm not sitting. Dude, give me the Packers. Okay, you really think that we're going to be lucky enough for the Packers to start 1-2? We're Bears fans. I hope the Packers lose, but they're not going to.
I think San
No,
Francisco.
Packers.
I don't know if they'll cover 3.5, but I think they'll win.
Okay, well, no, the Packers
Aaron
are going to
Rodgers
win
is
that
praying.
game.
He's going to decide to play every other week just to get Green Bay excited, just to poop on Green Bay. He hates the organization. He acts like he loves the fans and all this other stuff, and he wants to be Mr. Goody Two-Shoes and be in the good faith of everybody else. Whatever. Aaron Rodgers.
Okay, so it sounds like Jimmy Garoppolo is going to bend over Aaron Rodgers.
That's not okay. Yeah.
So,
well, we'll see what happens.
All right. Yeah. Well, I don't think that's going to happen. So,
you know what, son? I thought you was talking about being a Bears fan. I thought you were actually going to bet my Bears bet of the week. To be honest,
all right,
with
guys.
we'll
get to your Bears bet of the week just to keep him quiet. But guess what? He wants to talk about me being a Bears fan, guys. All right. Let's get to Andrew's dumbass parlay of the week. I'm riding the hot hand, coming off a winner, and this is Andrew's dumbass parlay of the week. I have 5 games, 5 money lines like I do every week. So for this week, this segment, my first pick, Bears, money line. I'm not a Bears fan. Guess what? Justin Fields is going to come out, shove it right down the Browns' throat. He's going to show out probably 3 touchdowns, 250 yards, maybe 1 on the ground. He's going to shut all the hype that's about these Cleveland Browns. He's playing in Ohio where he went to college. So give me, to start off my parlay, Bears money line, Dad. I am a Bears fan.
Son.
After that,
we got Bears money line. Whatever. Just finish up your bet. I'll talk about my bet later.
Steelers money line. Raiders again money line. And Bucks money line. And my Cowboys, who want me that money, Gonna beat Dad's favorite team, the Philadelphia Eagles. Money line.
All right, good. My boy Cowboys, I hope we're cheering for you again. I was like,
so all of my picks are good. Like
I've never cheered for the Cowboys ever in my life, and I cheered for you last week, and I'll cheer for you again this week. And what are you going to say about yours?
Well, so when we get off the air, just so you guys know, I'll let you guys know, keep you updated, because Dad won't make this bet because I bet Bears money line probably because he thinks it's just throwing money in the garbage can. So that goes to show how big of a Bears fan he is with his Akeem Hicks jersey over here. So he can't. You know, Andrew's 1-1 on the dumbass parlay of the week, and he's not going to make this bet, and that's fine. I'll do it on my personal account and win because the Bears are going to beat the Browns.
Hey, but you know what? You ain't played that funky music yet this week. That funky music where we hit the best bets.
Really?
You ain't played that funky music yet.
No, because apparently we're not on the same page this week. So
no, we're not on the same page. We're not on the same page a lot, not just in this podcast. So that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that.
So should I play the music?
Play that funky music.
That's not the funky music.
That ain't the funky music.
That's an ad, Coach. There it is, white boys. What do we got? Bears bet of the week. Bear down bet of the week. What do we got?
Bear down bet of the week was the Chicago Bears plus 7.5 because I think they will cover the 7.5. Money line's talking a little bit crazy, and man, I hope that happens.
So you gonna do it? Do it! Money line!
Son, I don't know if I can do it.
All in! Justin Fields' first start. It's going to knock him off. It's going to be all over.
Throw 30 on it. It's
Yeah!
Let's do it. Bear down, Chicago Bears. No, 7.5. Let's do money line.
Do it.
It's called gambling for a reason, I guess.
That's right. We ain't going to get the Super Bowl not betting on them. So, Bears money line, ladies and gentlemen. $30. $30. That'll be a nice little payday there if we hit that one. So, there's that funky music for you, folks.
Play that funky music.
All right.
Yeah. That's good. That's a good way to come down to wrapping the show up there, son, pretty soon.
I know.
I was not expecting that. All right.
Yep, he thought that I was all out on the Bears. Nope, I'm still in on the Bears, especially when we're playing the right quarterback. So he's going to earn his starting job this week by knocking off a potential Super Bowl contender, maybe turn us into one of those contenders. Wouldn't that be great? All right, and then I know we've been doing the prop of the week. I've been doing the Thursday ones for us. So this is what I got for ZZ prop of the week for Thursday night football. The most entertaining game of the century, the Houston Texans versus the Carolina Panthers. Give me McCaffrey, 7+ receptions and a Panthers win. They're always throwing to this guy. This guy is an incredible athlete, incredible, I don't know, what do you call him, a flex? He's just insane. Just him being able to come out of the backfield, catch the ball, and he averages pretty much this a week. So I like this a lot. It's plus 250 odds. Just throw $10 on it. 7 receptions and a Panthers win. I really like this bet. The only thing that there's always something crazy that happens in the NFL. And I was talking to Dad before the show. I want to stay away from that game because, I mean, the Texans were beating the Browns at one point last week. And now they got this Davis Mills. I mean, they had, what was it, Tyrod Taylor, which he did good.
Tyrod Taylor was looking serviceable, if not more. He was playing pretty well. If you look, I cannot name off all the running backs, but the running backs they got on the roster, I know Mark Ingram's one of them.
Yeah.
And he's like the second or third string guy pretty much. They've got some decent running backs. And with him being a veteran NFL quarterback, he was doing all right, man.
And he's a goal line type of guy. And like for a far out there one tomorrow too. I think he's like plus 1,800 for him to get 2 touchdowns. Who knows? He could get 2 goal line touchdowns. It's not horrible odds. Plus 2,000 almost on that. So I could see Mark Ingram somehow sneaking away with 2 touchdowns tomorrow. But he believes in that Panthers defense as well. So can they even get to the goal line will be the issue.
My money's on the Panthers.
Panthers 3-0 start. 3-0 start. Competitor with the Bucks.
I think.
You gonna give them a run for the money?
Don't know about that, but I
Oh, and you didn't talk much while we finishing up the show, but there is a few pick'ems. There's a couple pick'ems I wanted to ask you about. We're not laying any money on them, but what are your thoughts on that one though? They got the Bucks favored by 1.5 at LA. That's gonna be a hell of a game. That's Sunday night football.
I think Tom Brady will come to play.
No, that's an afternoon game. That's good old Joe Buck.
My money's on the Bucks. I wouldn't bet on it. My money would be on the
17-0, 17-0, 20-0, 20-0.
The only thing I'd worry about is, from all the podcasts I listen to, whatnot, is the Bucks having a letdown game like they did last year. I mean, they didn't even come close to undefeated last year. They were a 5 seed.
16-1.
They were a 5 seed last year for a reason. They're going to have some letdown games. Will they stay healthy? We'll see. But I've got the Bucks in this one.
Well, by how much? Field goal.
Money line.
Money line. All right. And I agree. Well, I have them on my dumbass parlay. I got the Bucks on that one. So. And then another pick on here, Seahawks and Vikings. We were talking about that a little bit earlier in the show, though, too. Seahawks favored by 1.5 at Minnesota in the Dome.
That's the thing, coming to Minnesota.
If the Vikings could make a field goal.
He's fighting for his life a little bit. Man.
I like Zimmer, too.
I do, too, Zimmer. I like him, too. This is another one. I wouldn't bet on it. Just literally looking at the screen and seeing the Seahawks versus Vikings, I'm going to go. Give me the over. I'm leaning the Seahawks.
Give me the over on that.
Seahawks.
I like the over on that one. Vikings just came out of a shootout, which was also a phenomenal game. Was Vikings-Cardinals game, and Q's team's 2-0. Bell Baby Yoda in the end zone. Kyler Murray hit him with the Baby Yoda pose, which was awesome. I'm rooting for your team, though, Q. I would like to see the Cardinals make a run. Hopefully they don't fall flat on their face against the Jags this week. And then, man, this is another one that stuck out to me, though. That's a lot of points versus the Jets. But like I said, the Broncos are silently 2-0. But is that one you're afraid of, too? 10.5 points? Maybe they're boosting that. I haven't really sat down and watched, but it sounds like Teddy Bridgewater's silently having a hell of a year too, not turning the ball over.
Yeah. Teddy 2 gloves, Teddy covers, yeah. Teddy. When I heard on a podcast today, I heard his record as far as covers. It's ridiculous. He does cover all the time, but the Jets are terrible. But oh man,
they got a good defense.
If anything, I'd actually probably lean to the Broncos 10.5. So. Yeah. Not something I would touch. That's a huge spread for the NFL.
And then this is another one I looked at. Last one we'll talk about for the show. The Dolphins, I think they might be sitting in better shape with Jacoby Brissett. I just not sold on Tua Tagovailoa. They could have had Justin Herbert, who's having a lot more success right now, but they picked the Alabama guy. But man, I really like what they're doing in Las Vegas this year, man, and I really hope that it pans out for him. I'm not a Las Vegas hater at all. I would love me to be able to go to Las Vegas and watch a football game there. I don't give a shit who they're playing. That'd just be awesome, having the kiosk sitting right in front of you.
Raiders minus 3.5. That's where
Raiders
I would take them easily on that one. I don't trust the Dolphins or Brissett or Tua blah 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 blah, whatever his name is. I don't trust him. He's hurt. He's got bruised lungs or broken ribs.
There's
who knows? I just think it's an excuse. His pride's hurt. He's no good. Gonna go ahead and sit him out and see what Brissett can do, and they're gonna get whooped by the Raiders.
I hope so, man. Like I said, I'm on the Raiders bandwagon, but yeah. And then we got just on a side note, we got Browns, Bears. Me and Dad would probably be watching that one together, and then also big college football game. Our Fighting Irish, they got us at 6.5-point dogs against them Badges. Give me Notre Dame all day. You're getting 6.5 points. I know we haven't been showing out that well. We're undefeated. Yeah, we had that horrible game against Toledo where we should have lost, but we didn't. We didn't. We're still 3-0. And I thought we looked really good against Purdue last week. So just on a side note.
Well, Andrew's poking the bear a little bit here, too. I mean, Wisconsin's a Big Ten team. The Big Ten, they play football there. I think Ohio State plays football sometimes. The rest of the Big Ten's terrible. So
the Big Ten can't beat a Pac-12 team.
I'm not sold on the Big Ten. Not at all. Notre Dame, they're questionable. I understand that. We've had some tough games. We'll see what happens.
And nobody's talking about this. Jack Conn's, it's his revenge game.
Jack Crone, yep.
Coming from Wisconsin, this is revenge game.
And it's that Soldier Field. It should be a great atmosphere. It's gonna be weird watching them at 11 Central Time here, but hey, we'll get a good game out of the way in the morning, kind of sort of for us.
I won't be able to watch it. I'll be hopefully selling cars to all my lovely listeners on here at Uftring in Washington. So come and see me. All right.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug of the day.
But no, yeah, go Notre Dame, being at Soldier Field. I mean, Wisconsin's technically the home team, but I mean, South Bend may be closer than what Madison, Wisconsin is. So we'll see what happens. It should be a good, fun atmosphere. Hopefully, a good game. Hopefully, the Irish come to play. Let's go.
Well, guys, I want to thank you all for tuning in again tonight. Like I said, right now we're sitting at 678, I believe, in our account, and we started with 590. So we're going into week 3. We're up about almost $100. So hopefully we can push that limit, maybe get closer to $800 after this week's slate. That would be phenomenal. Hit another Andrew's Dumbass Parlay of the week, and just keep this show going, man. We're off to it may not look like it record-wise, sitting at 5-13, but that the Cowboys, man, the Cowboys helped us out a lot.
The parlay helped us out.
The parlay and Dad on the money line, though, too. That paid us $60. Like I said, that paid us $300, like total in bets, and got us back up above water. So, anyways, my name is Andrew Zaiser, and I want to thank you guys all for tuning in, like you do weekly. This is
the PC Principal.
The PC Principal, and that was episode 3 of ZZ Props. Thanks, guys. Have a great night.